Get ready with me while I talk about growing up as a homeschooled kid. As you can tell, I'm already like basically ready for the day, but as I was recording this, literally my whole video deleted, so I'm really sad. But I'm just gonna sum up kind of the childhood part. So I went to public school when I was in preschool and when I was in kindergarten, but when I went into kindergarten, I was considered a bad kid because I couldn't pay attention or like focus on things, and I was the only kid that couldn't read still, or like wasn't learning the basics of reading. And my mom was concerned because like no one was trying to help me, and so she was like, well, let me just try to homeschool her. And my parents own a business together, so for her like going out of her way to like try to help me is so like I don't know, I just have such a good mom and I'm really grateful for her. But anyways, my sister didn't need to be homeschooled, but hearing that I was gonna be homeschooled as a second grader, she was like, she was jealous, and she was like, I want to be homeschooled too. So my mom ended up homeschooling both of us. Now, me and my sister are polar opposites, but we go together perfectly. My sister is very left brain, so she's very like logical thinker, black and white. Like she's really good at math. She's really good at like science. She's good at like all the stuff that the public education system teaches. Me, no. I was very creative. I love to dance. I love to sing, even though I can't sing. I am so imaginative. Like I could write story after story after story. I love to draw. I was just very creative. Like I love to make stuff. I love to build stuff. I was super into like just all that kind of stuff. Just to like summarize that, like me and my sister were very opposite. So my mom taught us differently. So like for me, she taught me in like a very different way than she taught my sister. So like my sister was basically taught just like how the public education system would teach, like just kind of black and white, like straightforward. And that's how my sister could understand things. Like that's how she learned things, and it was easy for her. For me, it was not like that. So my mom taught me differently. I had ADHD, so I could not focus on anything, but she noticed that like when I was moving around that I could listen better. So when she would like read me educational stuff or like stories, or she would read to me and my sister like a lot of books, like she would read so much, like every single day we would spend probably like an hour her like reading some sort of book to us. But for me, I couldn't sit still. I would have to constantly move around and bounce around and do whatever. But if she would like quiz me or test me on the book, I would know everything, rather than if I was sitting down, I would not remember a single thing because I would be distracted. But with my sister, like she could just sit there and listen and get 100 anyways. So like that's also a good reason why like I didn't go to public school, because like I wouldn't have been able to do that in public school. And more things like with teaching me, she was very one-on-one with me, so she would teach and teach and teach and teach until I understood. And the public education system doesn't do that with students. They just teach and then teach more and then teach more and then teach more. So kids like me don't understand, or will either be behind or will fail, like, you know. So I don't know where I was going with that, but like when I went to public school, so I ended up going to public school in 6th grade, and that's when everything changed for me, because the way I learned, the way I was taught, like the way I did things completely changed, and I changed as a person. That's why like me personally, I feel like if I have children that are like me, I might homeschool them as well, or take them to like, hopefully I have money to like afford to take them to a private school that will like be more creative, because there was private schools like where I live that were like more tended to like minds like me, but like my parents couldn't afford it because it was like expensive and we couldn't afford private school. Hold on, I need to do my eyebrows. One other thing that I wanted to bring up is like social skills. I know that a lot of the reason why like parents won't homeschool their children is because, one, that's a huge task and responsibility to teach your child something, and it's time consuming. Parents a lot of the time don't have time to do that, but they think that kids will lack in social skills if they're homeschooled, which I can agree and disagree, because I do know kids that like when I went to public school, you could like kind of like tell that they were in that they were homeschooled. But with me, when I went to public school, no one knew, and when I told people, they were like honest, like shocked by it. But I think that going to public school like ruined my being like an extrovert, because how I was like wasn't normal to like other kids, like the way I thought. I don't know if that makes sense. But when I was at home, I was never judged. I had creative freedom. I did whatever I wanted. If I wanted to wear a unicorn crown, a pink tutu, and a whatever, I could. But I couldn't do that at public school. And when I tried to like put in some of my creativeness or like, you know, myself, I was made fun of really bad. And that was the first time that I've ever like kind of paid attention to myself and felt judged. And that's when like everything changed. Like I feel like I changed my personality, my style to like fit into the other kids, because I was like embarrassed of how I was. And it almost made me like mad at my mom that she like let me be myself, which is like crazy because I'm 19 now and that was when I was 11. So yeah, but if I have like a child like me, like I would want them to express themselves. And I wish that like I was the type of person that like didn't care what people think at the time, because I was a cool kid. Like I was a really cool kid, but the public school people were just boring. But anyways, it made me feel very like conscious and like aware of myself, so I like completely changed everything. Anyways, but now that I'm 19 and I'm like grown, I feel like I'm like not becoming a child, but becoming like more like trying to bring out my creative side. And I literally feel like going to public school ruined that, because I try so hard to like bring my like creativeness back, because I would spend when I was homeschooled, like every day I was making something, every day I was doing something new, or like thinking of something, or like literally writing stories. Like that's crazy to me, because now, or I would write poems. Like I have like a ton of poems like written down that were like really good, and now I have like none of that, because like the public education system like ruined it for me. So it's been like I'm trying to bring like my inner child back in a way, like more of my creativeness back. But yeah, that was kind of like my upbringing with being homeschooled. I just love and appreciate my mom so much for putting so much time into me and my sister, because I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I truly think that I have a heart for like all people, because when I was homeschooled, there was these classes that homeschooled kids would take like once a week, and it was called co-op. So like kids would go to this one class to like learn a specific subject that like the parent wasn't like really good at teaching. So like mine was science, but when I went there, like all the homeschool kids were like, they were so cool. And you just really see like them for personally like who they are. Like everyone was different, everyone was like authentically themselves, they're all cool. Like, and in public school, everyone is literally copy and paste, because they are so scared of other people judging them. And that's like the one thing that I noticed like between homeschool, because like I don't know, I feel like people judge like the homeschoolers because they think they're like weird, but like I did not remember them as like being weird. I thought they were like all cool and like different. So going into public school, like seeing like the copy and paste kid was like so strange to me, but I like turned into it because I felt like I was being judged. Where I was going with that, I feel like I have like a heart for like all kinds of people, because like I grew up around it. And I think it's so cool if someone can like stand out from people and like not care what people think, because like that's my goal. And I think that I'm like slowly achieving like being more and more myself like publicly. But I live in a small town, so like even how I dress or like post on my social media is nothing like the girls here, and so that makes me a little conscious, but I just keep pushing anyways. I'm gonna do my mascara and then I'll show y'all the final look. If y'all have any more questions about like my homeschool life or whatever, feel free to ask me and I can answer it in the next Get Ready With Me. My makeup is done. I feel like I could have explained this a little bit better, so if y'all want me to make a part too on this and ask me more questions, feel free to. I love y'all so much. I'm getting my hair tomorrow. Done tomorrow. Bye.